I like to start off with anything with just a basic idea of what our bread and butter is, right? So in this particular account, test seller 2, last 30 days, and I've got some multiple different time periods. Let's pull in the list of ASINs using our functions, which is activated once you've installed our Amazon add-in. So go into add-ons, get add-ons, and then you can look us up. Just type in Gorilla ROI. This will show up. Once it's activated, to get the list of ASINs, I could do Gorilla ASIN list, and then it's going to highlight the inputs of what needs to be fed for the data to be filled up. So it's telling me it wants a seller ID input. So in other case, this account is called test seller 2. Now your store may be called like Transformers or Toy Story or Shoe Store, etc. So in this case, test seller 2, comma, the marketplace. I'm going to do it for the US marketplace. If it was for US or Canada or Mexico, etc., Spain, you can enter with the matching marketplace. Each time I do a comma, it moves on to the next one. And it's telling me, do I want to filter for a particular ASIN, like the start of an ASIN? And I'm like, no. Status, I can choose whether I want to do active or inactive. And you can see all of this information when you drop down on the actual menu, expand it, and then it highlights status and it'll give you all the ones that you can do. So I'm just going to leave it blank. And it's going to default to all. So it's going to show me all the active and the inactive. And obviously fulfillment, whether you just want to show FBA or FBM, and then sorting, how you want to sort it, whether you want to sort it descending by days, ascending, alphabetically. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep it real simple. I just want to grab the ASINs for this account for this marketplace US. I'm going to hit enter, and then it's going to go through the information, pull up all the ASINs under this account, and this is how it's going to be displayed. Now you can see what I mean where this is being automated. If I come back tomorrow and say I want to add 10 more ASINs, then once it's been added and Amazon has fully registered it into the system, when I come back, say a few hours later, or when I want to refresh this formula, it will now show the extra 10 ASINs down the bottom and it's going to update dynamically. Now let's get the sales information. So let's say I want the sales and the units sold. That's one of the things that nearly everybody always wants to look up, right? So I want to grab the units sold for the last 30 days and let's get it on a per ASIN basis. So our function for this is Gorilla underscore sales count. Now again, it's going to highlight and tell me which input to feed into the formula. So seller ID again. Now you can enter it manually if you want. Like let's say AA distribution is your company name, right? You can enter that manually. Or let's say you have multiple accounts, then that's where you want to use a cell reference so that you could create like a drop-down list, and then when you change that drop down, all the formulas will automatically update to match that Amazon account. A1 for test seller 2, comma, for the period. Again, I don't want to manually type things because I want to keep it as dynamic as possible. Okay, so I've got last 30 days entered as a reference, comma, and then for the marketplace. Now, I should technically enter US somewhere over here so that I don't have to change the marketplace manually all the time. Because as you can see, like if I keep it as US, and then if I want to say change it to Canada or something, then I have to go back into the formula and change this to Canada instead of if the marketplace was selected here, then each time I could just leave the formula alone, just change the marketplace in one cell, and anytime any formula is referencing and pointing to this marketplace formula, then it's automatically all going to update and pull in the matching data for that marketplace. Now for the SKUs, we use SKU or ASIN interchangeably. So I'm going to drag the list of SKUs here or ASINs from A4 to A17. Now this is going to tell me that I'm going to pull all the data on a per ASIN basis. F4 to lock this in. I want to lock in the reference for the period. So F4, it puts in those dollar signs. Marketplace, yep, I don't want that moving. So F4. And then for the ASINs, I am going to drag this formula to the right. So I don't want to press F4. I just want to put in a dollar sign in front of the A's so that it locks it onto the column A. Now, do I want to get a specific status? No, not really. Like for the status, you can choose whether you want, say, all but cancelled, pending, unshipped, shipped, cancelled, unfulfillable, etc. But I just want everything. I don't want to try and filter down too much right now. Comma. MCF means multi-channel fulfilled. Now, do I want to include multi-channel fulfilled orders? So things like if you're selling on Shopify and you're using Amazon to fulfill it, do you want to include that into your sale or do you want to exclude it? By default, it excludes. And do I want a start date and an end date? No, not really. I just, because I want for the last 30 days. So let me just clean up this formula, press enter. formula, and now it's going to pull in again for this account. Oh, I don't have a marketplace, but the reason why it worked is because although I don't have any marketplace in F1, it defaulted to my main marketplace, which I've set it up as the US. So if I change this to US, you'll see these numbers. Okay, so for example, this one is 1028. Okay, 165, 1028. I change this to US. It detects a change in the marketplace, and then it's going to re-update the formula and pull in that value. But again, you can see that 165, 1028, it matches with the previous one because it was defaulting to my US main account. So again, this formula is looking up for the test seller to Amazon account for the last 30 days for the US marketplace for each of these single ASINs.